you hear about the metaverse, or even like Facebook turning into Meta, this whole idea that virtual reality is going to be the new thing, a lot of it is a marketing ploy. And that is to say, it's a sales pitch that comes to you in the form of, this is the inevitable new thing, right? And this is part of the business model for basically all tech, is representing the new tech that they want to sell you as the future and the inevitable direction that we're going. And if you don't buy this, if you resist it, if you have criticisms of it, then you're just digging in your heels against progress, and you're going to look awfully silly in the end when it turns out that the metaverse comes into being and you're left behind. And what I want to tease apart here, actually, is the distinction between those sales pitches that people might give us, which we can accept or reject, versus the ways of looking at the world that they reveal. Because, yeah, like Facebook's transition to Meta might work, it might not. Fortnite might turn out to be a game that endures, it might not. But in the sales pitches that they give us, in the ways that they have of selling their tech to us, we start to see how some of the richest and most powerful people in the world look at humanity and our place within the world. And that is where we can start to uncover some of the logic, not only of our kind of modern techno-futurist philosophy, but some of the crises that are being raised by these issues, some of the ancient questions that are being raised, so that we can then go back to the great works of the West and find what answers those works have for these questions. And so, to me, the question of the metaverse is much less a question, are we all going to be able to put on virtual glasses and live in a virtual world, and much more of a question, is there true and false at all? Is there such a thing as objective reality? Because I really believe that is the first great question of the Western philosophical tradition. It begins with Socrates, right? Socrates is engaging with all of these philosophers who go before him, people like Heraclitus, right? And even Parmenides, who's kind of a positive influence in some ways on Socrates, and Gorgias and the sophists that are contemporary with Socrates, are all raising this painful, difficult question. What is truth? Is there such a thing as truth? Or is Heraclitus right and all things are in flux? Because, as I've said many times now on the podcast, right, there's a way in which Heraclitus is right. We live in this world of impermanence. And some Greek words that are associated with this are like phora, right, which is decay, or togenomenon, right, that which is always coming into being and passing away. And the claim, the sort of heart of the sophist claim, as Plato represents it, is that that's all there is. Everything is just always changing and passing away. And when that is your belief system, it turns out that the only thing you can believe in is the assertion of power.